Hey Mickey, what's up?
What's going on, my friend? How are you?
Very good, very good. Everything going good today?
Yeah, everything's going great. How you doing? I know a bit of a hectic morning, huh?
Yeah, terrible. You know,
Oh,
but
oh, sorry,
uh,
dude.
I just move on. You know,
Yeah, I
everything.
got
So tell me a little bit about your early career. Was the first video you did was just like heaven, or was there more before that?
So there was a couple more before that. So Just Like Heaven was the third single I ever put out. Defiance was the first single I ever put out, and I did a video for. So with my early career, I did a lot of instrumental stuff.
Right,
It was always instrumental work because at the time I wasn't really a singer. I still
right,
don't really qualify myself as a singer, to be quite
right.
honest. I
Hmm.
just work on it more than, I did back then.
Right,
Um, but so at the time it was a lot of instrumental stuff, and then moving forward, I was just writing instrumental up until once I joined Holy Mother, then I kind of didn't write as much. I
right.
didn't do as much writing up until probably about maybe January of 2023, I'm gonna say.
Uh-huh.
Or yeah, January 2023. That's when like I started like I got the bug again, right? Where I was writing, but I started writing stuff that I was like singing. So I was like,
Right.
"Oh, this is different, but I like it."
Yeah. Cool, cool, cool. Now, did you have any training for guitar in the beginning?
Yeah, so I'm a product of School of Rock actually. I went
Uh-huh.
to School of Rock for like a couple years. I had a really good teacher at School of Rock. His name was Kieran McCauley.
Uh-huh.
He was great, he was phenomenal. And then I went to study under Jackie Vincent from Falling in Reverse.
Cool, cool.
So I studied under him for a bit. My dad is a guitar player. He's a monster. Me and him would always
Right.
practice together. He would like show me, oh, do this or do this. So it was always kind of good. And then just playing constantly, especially for me. Someone asked me recently, and I thought it was a good question of like, how did COVID affect you? And
Right.
for me, I was a high school student who no longer had to go to school at that
Right.
time.
Uh-huh.
So I had all this time to play. So it was
Right.
like, so instead of practicing like when I was going to school, I'd practice like 6, 7 hours a day. Well, now it
Right.
was just like I'm locked in my room, might as well.
Yeah. Cool, cool. That School of Rock is a really good program. Yeah.
Yes, it is very good, especially for the performance aspect, getting kids to get on stage and break out of their comfort zone. Like for me, my first show I ever did, I stood still, I did like this, and then by like show three, I was moving around, having
Uh-huh.
fun, and now it's a zoo up there.
Cool, cool. When you joined Holy Mother, I guess in 2022,
Yep.
maybe around Mike Tirelli, the frontman and founder of the band. Your first album you recorded with them was Rise.
Yes.
Cool, cool. So did you have to audition for that part, or did
Uh,
Mike know you?
Mike knew me. Mike's like a legend on Long Island. I mean, he's a legend to begin with, but he's a
Right,
legend on Long Island especially. And so my dad used to own a guitar store on Long Island, and so Mike would stop in once in a while, and just because he loves guitars and everything. So he knew my dad.
right,
And then flash forward, about 2021, I'm gonna say, yeah, 2021, November of 2021. I was playing a show, and usually for my band, I would have guest singers come up, and just
right,
they'd come up do two, three songs. And so my dad goes, "Oh, I know this guy, Mike Tirelli." And he's like, "Oh, should we reach out and see if he wants to sing?" I'm like, "Yeah, of course.
yeah,
That would be awesome." And especially
right,
I knew him from Holy Mother. I knew Messiah's Kiss. I knew Mike's stuff. I knew
right.
he was a great singer. And Mike agreed just out of the blue. He just said, "Okay, yeah, I'll do it."
Cool.
Um, and he came up and sang with us, and I don't think he really know what to expect from me right away, but
Right.
like the first time me and him got on stage, it was instant. Like it was like instant, like just chemistry, instant sound. It was like, oh, this is good, this is really good. So we kept in touch after that, and then eventually in August of 2022, I just graduated high school, and he was looking for a guitar player, and I got the call of like, hey, I need a guitarist.
Uh-huh.
Um, would you be interested? And I was like, yeah,
Cool.
that's a no-brainer. Because right away it was like, well, we're working on an album, we have a tour coming up, And I was like, well, this is already like just working with you was already a no-brainer. But now
Right.
the fact that you're like, oh, we have this, and we have, I'm like, yeah, duh. I'd be stupid to say no.
Cool.
And since then we've been working together, and it's been fantastic.
Cool. Cool. Now you had a chance to actually travel the world, haven't you, with Holy Mother?
Holy Mother, yes, I've gotten quite the opportunity to be all around Europe especially, but
Right.
really all around the globe, which is nice. And it's for me like I have a couple of passions in life, right? Like music is a really big passion of mine.
Right.
But traveling is a really big passion of mine, like huge passion of mine. So it's so nice that my career and my passion has like collided with my traveling because it's just like it's so nice that I'm like, okay, well I get to go here and I get to go here. It's awesome. But I cannot like I'm overjoyed by it.
Cool. Cool. You feel your biggest fan base is in Europe?
Yes, definitely. I personally think, well, especially with Holy Mother, the biggest fan base is in Germany.
Uh-huh.
Germany, and even for my solo stuff, I'm just looking at the numbers and like
Right.
just talking to the fans. Germany is just a hot spot. The fans are just great over there. The people are great. Um, yeah, I would say Germany, but Europe, especially for Holy Mother, has been very good.
Well, what's the feeling like? Like you're a young guy and stuff like that, and people come and ask for your autograph. What's that feel like?
It's an interesting feeling. It's a very interesting feeling. Because I just play guitar. For me, that's how I look at it. I'm like, I just play guitar and I have fun, and it's like these people want my autograph. It's really
Uh-huh.
surreal.
Yeah.
Especially you have people who like come to these gigs with like printed pictures of you, and they're like,
Uh-huh.
oh, could you sign this? It's like, really? Like, you're here like for me? Are you sure about that?
Right. Yeah.
It's a really cool feeling, and it's one of those things where you're like it's paying off, you know what I mean? The passion and the work and the dedication, just everything that you put, because at the end of the day, this is one of the things where people glorify being a musician, and being a musician is such an amazing thing, but it is a lot of work. Like I am always a big advocate for, you want to do it, you go for it, don't
Right.
shy away, do it. But you have to be ready that it is a lot of work between, being one, amazing at your instrument. You got to be amazing at social media. You have to be amazing with statistics. You have to be a salesman. It's a lot. It really is.
Right.
But if you have the passion for it, do it because in the long run, it is so worth it. So when stuff like that happens, when people come up to me and they know who I am and they're
Right.
like, oh, I have an autograph, it reinforces me that it's like, yeah, it's working. It's working. Your hard work is paying off. So just
Cool.
keep going.
Cool. Where do you pick up your clothes?
My clothes. Ooh, that's interesting. I have a few places.
Uh-huh.
So I mean, I work with my sister a bit. She always finds good stuff for me, and then because she's an artist, so she drafts up stuff for me, or she'll make some stuff for me,
Right.
which is super awesome. I have a couple of companies. Rivet Head is one that I shop from pretty regularly. They're really good. Shrine in Hollywood.
Uh-huh.
Shrine is really nice stuff. And I just met recently that I'm gonna work with her probably soon. Is oh, what's her name? Riot Stitchwear.
Uh-huh.
She does the stuff for Steel Panther.
Cool.
She's in like a lot of other acts. She's
Uh-huh.
absolutely phenomenal. She asked me to like walk in like a fashion thing recently, and I was like, "Really? You sure about that?" That was another thing. Are you sure about that? Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
But it was a lot of fun too. So I mean, and then you kind of just browse online or whatever, and stuff comes up that you're like, "Oh, that's cool. That's
Yeah.
cool."
Yeah.
Especially like for different acts that I do, I have like different clothing, right? So like Holy Mother is very like vests and looking metal, whereas I'm in another project, Andrew. Um, I try to go very mesh look with that.
Uh-huh.
Just I change it up a bit for that, and then for what I'm doing for Mickey Lixx right now, it's starting to pivot more towards rock, just like simple rock. So for me, I'm still kind of getting the grasp of what I want to dress like that for that because it's not going to be like what I do for Holy Mother or Andrew. It's going to be different.
Right. Right. How much does image mean to you?
How much does image mean to me?
Yes.
Image is an important thing. Image is a very, I think in music it's a very important thing, because people nowadays want to be like, they want to be captured just by even the look without even hearing the sound, right? So
Right.
it is important to have a good image, I think. It's like a good business plan, right? If you're
Right.
making an advertisement for something, If it looks boring, nobody's going to want to buy it. If it
Right.
looks nice, people are going to be interested and they'll learn more about the product, right? So I,
Right.
I kind of view it like that, right? Where if the person has a good image, that is like one of the most important things.
Uh-huh.
Besides obviously being a good player. They have to like look a certain, they have to have that look because that's what's going to capture people in. I think we've always talked about this, right, with Holy Mother, and I actually especially use Andrew for this reference. I'm gonna give her a lot of credit here. When she found her band, she was very good at this of saying, "Well, I want." She said to me straight out, "I want attractive people because
Right.
I want people's like eyes to be captured. So not
Right.
only into the music, but they're like, "Ooh, I like that member. Ooh, I like that member." You know what I mean? And I think that is a very solid business plan. I think that's great.
Right. Definitely, definitely. I mean, me as a photographer, I want to see a show.
Yeah,
I mean, I have some personal friends in the music business, but like every time they're on stage, they got a t-shirt, like a white t-shirt. Like how many pictures can I take of you standing there with a white t-shirt?
yeah,
And these are good friends. I'm not going to say, anything to them or nothing like that. Like, change your style a little bit, buddy. But it's get to be boring after a while. But the music's still great, you know.
yeah,
So
definitely.
just the image is lacking. And as a photographer, I want to see a show, you know.
Yeah, I completely get it.
Definitely. Tell me a little bit about NAMM. How was that?
Oh, NAMM was fantastic. It was so cool to see all the stuff, just like all the instruments and all these people that like you're like I didn't like Stevie Wonder walked past me. I was
Uh,
like Stevie Wonder. But it was like super cool to see like everybody see all these instruments. I'm a Charvel rep, so to get to see all like the Charvels and the Fenders, and it was
right,
just like I felt like a kid in a candy store. I was walking through like, oh my goodness, like
right,
I can't believe this. And then of course LA is beautiful. I mean, we're East Coast guys, so
right. Uh-huh.
you're always gonna have that like a little bit. Like I travel the world and I love everywhere in the world, but when I'm in LA, I'm like, this is great, but it's not.
Yeah, definitely.
No reason, just because I'm an East Coast guy, it's like
Right.
the East Coast go better. But it was very nice. It was nice because when I left New York, it was like 15, 20 degrees, and then when I got to LA, it was like 70.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
nice. But other than that, yeah, it was great. Holy Mother played at the Whiskey. That was a lot of fun. And yeah, I mean, if the opportunity keeps presenting itself, then I'm definitely going to be going back because it was a lot of fun.
Cool, cool. Tell me some of your endorsements. You say Charvel.
Yeah, so I'm a Charvel guy.
Uh-huh.
Well,
Cool.
I have Charvel. I have Elixir strings.
Uh-huh.
I have FU Tone, Adam River from FU Tone, and I have EVH Gear. Those are my four. I love them to death. I'm a big believer in endorse something that you're gonna love.
Uh-huh.
Like people will pick up endorsements just because they want to be endorsed and have
Right.
that. Because and that's cool, but the problem is if you don't love it, it's not gonna work out in the long run, right?
Right.
it,
Yeah.
it's I think that's like a very important thing. So for me, like when I was starting to build my base, like my fan base and playing and doing all this, like I had offers and I'm so appreciative to the brands that reached out to me and said, "Oh, we'd love to do this." Like I had a couple guitar brands reach out to me that I think they're great brands, but for me, I remember like just thinking about it and going, "Well, it isn't a Charvel. Like I play
Right.
Charvel." So it's
Uh-huh.
like eh, I
Right.
appreciate the offer, but what's great about Charvel too is it's owned by Fender, so I can play Fender, Jackson, Gretsch, EVH,
Right.
and
Uh-huh.
Charvel. So it's like I
Totally.
get but I'm forever grateful to these companies. They're super kind to me. They give me they give me help in whatever I need. They're always supportive, sharing my stuff,
Uh-huh.
and I believe in the product, and I think that is the biggest thing.
Cool, cool. How many guitars you have?
Oh, oh. So here's the thing. I share a collection with my dad.
Uh-huh.
We're kind of addict. Well, he's worse than I am. I at
Uh-huh.
this point, I've pumped the brakes. I'm pretty good. I have my touring rig. I'm steady. He just likes he likes guitars a lot. I mean, I
Uh-huh.
like guitars a lot, but he likes guitars a lot.
Uh-huh.
So, um, I'm gonna say about 80.
Wow. Yeah.
It's a little much, but you know what? We play them all, so
Uh-huh. So what happens when he comes into your room and takes one of the your favorite guitars and starts playing on it?
You know what? He's a tech. He's a guitar tech. This was
Uh-huh.
his. He's really good at luthiering. He does all my setups. So
Uh-huh.
usually when he does that, it's to set it up because it's been beat up from the road, or because
Uh-huh.
we have the joke. I'm very rough on guitars. I am, but because they're battle tested, they really are. When a
Right.
guitar goes on the like when a guitar goes on the road with me, it's going through the motions. It's getting beat up. It's getting played night in and night out. But it's it's because it's on the road and it's
Yeah.
getting that experience. And to me, I don't like it. Like I don't need my guitar to be all shiny and nice. Oh, there's a dirt speck. I gotta clean it. I gotta
Right.
clean it. I
Yeah.
like that beat up. Like if you look at the two guitars that I use on the road for Holy Mother, they're both
Uh-huh.
Star Wars.
Uh-huh.
They're really beat up. They're like really beat up, but it's because I use them, and
Right.
I want
Yeah.
to go because it's a story to the guitar. It's not just like perfect.
Cool. Cool. Now let's get to your new video, Fight You, already at 21,000 views.
Hmm.
Um, Tell me about the video and your attire in the video, your wear. You know,
Yeah.
'cause
Okay.
it's
So
unusual.
that let me just double check the name of the studio we shot it at. But that video was a lot of fun to shoot. I mean, I always like shooting music videos,
Uh-huh.
but this one had like a different energy to it, and I think it really came across nicely in the video, which I was so happy about. Like that was the one compliment, like a compliment I got a lot on the video was that it was just like there's so much energy in it, and
Right.
I really love that that came across. Um, okay, so the video now that I just had to look, so it's Studio 650 on Long Island,
Uh-huh.
uh, and it's like it was a good space. It was just great. It had a nice atmosphere to it. And as far as my wear goes, I knew I was going to be a little bit different on this.
Right.
So the one thing I'm going to start saying with a lot of the people who follow what I do, because I'm a shred guy. I'm a shred guy. People know that. I'm still going to be that. I'm
Right.
still doing Holy Mother. I'm still doing Andre. I still write instrumental.
Uh-huh.
But moving forward, a lot of my stuff is going to start turning more into rock in pop rock and almost
Right.
even pop punk. I kind of want to explore this avenue a bit.
Right.
Because it is a sound that I've always loved.
Right.
And that doesn't mean I'm stopping metal because I love metal. I
Right.
love metal. That's why
Uh-huh.
I'm like I do metal with Holy Mother. I do metal with Andre. I'm sure I'm going to be doing metal with more projects. But let me do something different, and I
Right.
want to be able to sing.
Right.
I want to be able because to be honest, one of the things I noticed with the last album I did, Mickey Lixx, not Holy Mother.
Right.
I love everything about that album because I recorded that when I was 16 and 17 and I had a ball doing it.
Right.
But it like nobody would ever really I would say really give it that much of a listen because it is instrumental and
Right.
instrumental to a certain crowd. It really
Uh-huh.
does.
Right.
I'm We're now gearing towards I want people to sing. You know, I want people to sing what I'm writing. Like I want to be able to write it, play it, and then people could sing it back to me. I think
Right.
that's something about that feeling is just very nice to me. So the outfit I used for that video is supposed to be very just like 70s, like I had a Miller High Life shirt on, just
Uh-huh.
this great, kind of almost looking a little like pop punkish, but rock.
Right.
And so that was kind of my inspiration for it. I didn't want to do like a fitted vest or be almost shirtless, like which I am most of the time on stage.
Right. Yeah.
I was geared towards a bit of a different thing because I'm gonna start moving towards that with the Mickey Lick solo stuff. Not with
Right.
Holy Mother, not with Andrew. That's staying shred. That's staying what I do.
Right.
But I want to test my audience a bit, and I want to have self enjoyment too in my music.
Cool.
Um,
Cool.
Enjoying it, I really am.
Cool. Do you ever think an instrumental album will be really popular? Because I just interviewed Bumblefoot about a week and a half ago. His is all instrumental too, and he's getting a lot of press from it. Do you think an instrumental album will ever break the charts?
I would love to see it. I
Uh-huh.
really would. You know that I would love to see that. Do I think it could break the charts? Anything is possible. So I will
Uh-huh.
never say never. I think anything is possible.
Right.
I just think it's maybe in this point in time, I believe, in my opinion, maybe it's not easy.
Yeah.
It's a little pretty hard, but it could happen. It definitely could. I mean, especially from a player like Bumblefoot, he's a monster. There's
Right.
so many monsters out there that write instrumental, and I love instrumental. I mean, I listen to Becker, Gilbert, Ingve. I listen to them all. I mean, even the new like Vi still puts out new stuff.
Right.
I love it, but do I think it's capable of breaking charts? To me, at the moment, I think it's hard, but it
Uh-huh.
is possible. It definitely is possible. I'm still writing instrumental. It's just I'm having fun doing this like new thing that I'm like I'm gonna keep going with it and see what happens.
Cool, cool. Is there other songs to come, like from Fight You and the Mickey Lixx band?
Yes. So there is a lot more on the way. I'm gonna be putting out singles, like pretty much almost every other month, I'm gonna say.
Uh-huh.
Uh, till eventually it's an album. I'm
Right.
not gonna release an album until all the songs are out. Oh, most of the songs are out. Reason being is because I want people to listen to all the songs.
Right.
I think if it's almost like the 50s, right? Where like artists would put out singles,
Right.
really put out albums. I'm kind of taking that approach, but then after like 8 songs, I'll throw like two more in and call it an album.
Right.
Just because I want people to listen to the songs, and I think when you put out albums nowadays, I notice that the people who are really fans are going to listen. They're gonna listen to that full album because they're a fan of you. But the
Right.
people that aren't fans right away, they're not gonna give the album a shot. They're gonna see a single and they'll listen to it, and if they like it, then they'll give the other things a shot.
Right.
And I think with this genre and what I'm doing, I think it's pretty common that you see just singles
Right.
into an album. Whereas like for instance with Holy Mother, um, it was an album, and a lot of the metal stuff is always an album.
Right.
It's like there are a few bands that I can think of that are exceptions. I could be wrong, but I noticed a lot of metal bands do album, 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 and I think that's great because
Right.
it's something actually very appealing to me about that. I don't know why. It's like
Right.
just CD, I like it,
Uh-huh.
but I think it's going to be nice to just do single and single and single. So I'm looking at putting out another song probably in late April.
Right.
Um, just going from there. But there's a lot of songs in the ringer. There's a lot of songs that are almost finished, few songs that are finished, and just taking it from there.
Cool, cool. It seems like over the last 2, 3 months, almost every band or musician I interviewed are doing it the same way, only
Mm,
singles. And then
yeah,
at the end, they're going to put out either colored vinyl or a different colored vinyl and then another different colored vinyl. So this way
yeah,
you can get like, and each colored vinyl will have a limited amount, like
yeah.
say 200, 100. Everybody's doing it now. I guess, and also a lot of the bands are only going to go with 8 songs instead of 10 for some
Yeah.
reason, you
I
know?
think this is having to do just with honestly, just because we're on this stupid thing so much that it's like your attention span starts to run out, right? Where
That's what
it's
they
like
say. Uh-huh.
it, it's sucky, but it's like because you're on TikTok and you're like, up, scroll, up, scroll, up,
Yeah.
scroll. So it's like I think people, and myself included, I'm a victim of this too. So I'm not gonna like pretend to be like you people don't have an attention span. I don't have an attention span either.
Yeah.
No, I'm just as bad as the rest of you. But it's because it's really it's like people don't have the patience now, I think, to listen to a 10 or not 10, but like 12 to 14 song album. I
Right.
think people would rather just listen to an 8, have it like that's why even when I record songs, to be honest,
Right.
I'm very skeptical on myself about length. I'm
Right.
like
Yeah.
if it's more than 4 minutes, nobody's gonna listen to the end of the song.
Right.
But if
Yeah.
it's 3:30, get a
Right.
little bit perfect. That's the sweet spot. You don't want it too short, but you don't want it too long. But
Right.
it does come back to 8 songs. I think is good because yeah, attention span, right? It's you
Definitely.
want to captivate audiences and you don't want to bore them. And
Yeah.
I think who knows? Hopefully it goes back one day to where you can do these big albums. But I just think in the times right now, just my opinion, as I say, yeah, I think people like the shorter stuff, not as much, like not as much length and not as much songs.
Cool. Cool. It's the same thing with interviews. If I do an hour interview, they're not sitting there listening for an hour. There's no
Very,
possible way. 20
very true.
minutes, 30 minutes, maybe 40 minutes, but 60 minutes, not happening. They're clicking off before the end of the interview. You know, they just start.
You're
They
definitely
just
right.
start. You know. So Mickey, it was great talking to you, and congratulations. Anything else coming up you want to talk about?
Just keep an eye out. Holy Mother's always doing good stuff. Andrew's lining up some nice things. I'm gonna keep going with what I'm doing. Expect a release from me probably around, I'm gonna say late April, early May. I don't want to confirm yet because I don't want to, I don't want to say this is the date and then it's not the date. But I will say this next song's name is Take It Slow. And I'm very excited for you guys to hear it. But in the meantime, stream fight you, watch it. And I always interact with my fans, so always feel free to shoot me a message if you want to chat about guitar, music, whatever. And yeah, just keep rocking, guys, and yeah, hear from you soon, okay?
Cool. Thanks a lot, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Have a good
Bye bye.
one.
Bye bye.